What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package and infrastructure update and daily news report for Monday, June 14th. Now, I just want to come out and say that this week is going to be a crucial week, not just for infrastructure, but for stimulus, for climate change, for what we see going on with the EV possible credits or EV taxation. There's a lot of stuff going on. President Biden is back, or President Biden will be back in Washington. We know the Senate and the House, they are back. They will be in session this week as well. There's a lot of stuff happening at this time. So I just want to break down what is going on, what we're hearing this morning, and give you a little bit of a glimpse on what we will potentially see this week. So this is going to be big. Now, the main thing that we have going on, not just this week, but according to lawmakers, they want to see the infrastructure package done by the end of July. However, Nancy Pelosi has a deadline of July 4th. Well, that is in 20 days. 20 physical days is when July 4th will hit the calendar. Well, that means we only have 15 working days. That is where things get very tight. That is where things, according to some, is almost impossible to see not just a budget reconciliation done to get this infrastructure package passed, but trying to get a bipartisan deal in just 15 days. Some say that is going to be impossible. Well, we did hear from one of the groups. This is from the Problem Solvers Caucus. This is one of the groups that is putting together an infrastructure proposal. Now, I want to break this down because this does play into whether or not we see a fourth stimulus check and possibly when we could see this check. I also, at the end of this video, I'm going to address what we're seeing regarding the crisis at the border. Want to address what we're seeing regarding prices and how they keep on skyrocketing. Okay, I want to address all these, and we're going to talk about unemployment as well, because all these things are kind of meshing together and creating a huge disaster. So let's get into it. First, Representative Brian Fitzpatrick, he said this morning that the Problem Solvers Caucus proposal is that something that neither party loves. Out of his party, I think there's 58 members in the Problem Solvers Caucus. Out of those 58 members, nobody loves every single provision in this bill. But he says it gives both parties some of what they want, which makes it bipartisan, and that is the key. He also went on to say that the infrastructure package is about compromise, and it has to be about compromise or it will not get done. So, what is in this infrastructure package that the Problem Solvers Caucus is going to be proposing? Well, according to reports, the plan is for about $1.25 trillion in spending over about an 8-year period. Currently, there's about the 58 members in the Problem Solvers Caucus, roughly 75% of them are on board with what is in this bill. The other 25% are not. So even though this is the Problem Solvers Caucus and they try to get everybody on board, they do understand that it doesn't matter when you have more than one idea. And let's say you have 58 in this case, it makes it very difficult to get a deal done. So some people will not be happy at all. Other people will be a little bit more satisfied. But in the end, nobody is 100% satisfied with what they're putting forward. And that is what he's saying is the key to seeing a bipartisan deal. If everybody's happy, then something is not right. If everybody is unhappy, then chances are it could be a good bill. So we will see. We also know this bill is going to have funding for bridges, roads, broadband, and the electric grid. These all have bipartisan support. However, what is not in this bill, at least according to reports out this morning, is anything regarding climate change. Do we know about the electric grid, but what about climate change? That isn't being addressed. And some say that this is what is going to kill this bill. And this is one of the reasons why many say this bill is not going to go forward, because there's nothing regarding climate change. So we will see. Now, expect this week to have a lot of movement across multiple fronts. This means infrastructure, the potential upcoming stimulus package, because we know President Biden is going to be back in Washington. The House and Senate, they'll be back in session. right? There's only 20 days left before July 4th, or 15 working days. So they're pretty much, backs against the wall at this point. They pretty much have to, hurry and focus if they want to meet Nancy Pelosi's deadline of the 4th of July. However, the majority of lawmakers, and this also includes the number two Democrat in the Senate, that's Dick Durbin, right behind Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. He is actually saying that the goal is to have this done by September. However, he is not factoring in the month of August, because the month of August is technically a recess for all lawmakers. So we pretty much have till the end of July. Now, what I can tell you right now is that Nancy Pelosi feels this is going to be a hard sell to the rest of Congress. Trying to get a bipartisan deal done in the current Congress is going to be very difficult. Senator Dick Durbin said that Democrats won't wait much longer to reach bipartisan support. He even went on to say that he's seen this movie before, and it was called the Affordable Care Act. He stated that back when Democrats waited a calendar year to reach bipartisan support on the Affordable Care Act under former President Barack Obama, that it never ever appeared. So he says that don't expect a bipartisan package to happen at this time either. So what does this mean? What this means is President Biden is going to have to move forward with a budget reconciliation. We know Senator Chuck Schumer, he is planning on taking these bills down two separate tracks, but at the same time. So his plan as of right now is let's work on a bipartisan infrastructure bill. But at the same time we're doing that, let's also focus on a budget reconciliation bill that is going to deal with that social infrastructure aspect, which could also include additional stimulus. What we know right now is that no proposal at this time includes an additional stimulus check, and many Democrats say that is a missed opportunity. Remember when Nancy Pelosi used to tell us that if we didn't see state and local government funding, it was a missed opportunity? Well, the goal right now, according to many reports, is to get pure infrastructure negotiated before Congress attempts to move forward with social infrastructure. So, while this may be the case, experts are currently saying that right now is not the time to get stingy with stimulus. They say with over 340,000 Americans losing their unemployment benefits just the other day, over the weekend, with food prices going higher and higher, and with rental assistance still being very slow to come out, they say the American people need help now, and Congress should deliver on that. What I can tell you is that there are a lot of talks, amongst lawmakers, amongst aides and staffers as well, also amongst American people, regarding an additional stimulus check. But the problem is this. Right now, lawmakers are pushing for a $2,000 per month stimulus check. Some, including Bernie Sanders, want a $2,000 one-time payment stimulus check, and then follow that up with a 1 month or monthly $1,000 stimulus check. Well, here's the issue. Some are saying those are too expensive, that progressive policies are not going to work at this time. So what Democrats need to do, according to experts, is they need to kind of rein in the progressives and let them know, hey, I understand you want $2,000 per month, but let's just push for a $2,000 one-time stimulus check. Let's get Congress to agree on that. Let's get Congress to start talking about an additional stimulus payment or direct, the economic impact payments to the American people. Let's let Congress deal with that, and then if things get worse, we can maybe roll that into a monthly payment. But they also say that right now, we do not need to worry about a monthly payment because we have the child tax credits, those payments coming out in just over a month from today. So some experts are saying that Democrats should not be stingy when it comes to stimulus, but at the same time, they should not go and ask for everything in the kitchen sink. They need to be understanding. They need to actually compromise, because right now, even though Democrats hold all the power in Congress, they can't get everything passed because there are some moderate Democrats as well that make things very difficult for them. That is Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. So, the problem right now is Congress can't do a whole lot if they do not have the support of all 50 senators. That is all 50 Senate Democrats as well. Now, what we know right now is that a lot of people will be hurting. We've been seeing reports just this morning, and again, unemployment ended 2 days ago on Saturday evening. So unemployment for 4 states actually ended on Saturday. However, this week there's going to be, I think, another maybe 5 or 6 states, and then the week after that I think there's going to be 6 or 7 states. So over the next couple of weeks we're going to see a total of about 20 states that will completely lose their unemployment benefits. That includes the $300 per week boost. That also includes long-term unemployment as well. What I can tell you right now, even with unemployment benefits back in May, studies show that about 19.3 million million adult households didn't have enough food to eat. And because of this, food banks are actually bracing for a surge in demand very soon. Right now, as the 25 states are about to cancel their unemployment benefits, the lifeline for roughly 4 million Americans, or jobless workers at this time, will completely go away. The one thing that is providing them with some type of assurance, assistance, that income, that's going to completely go away. And the problem is that Congress can't do anything about it. President Biden has his hands tied. He can't do anything about it. So it's all up to the Republican governors, or really any governor at this time. There are some talks, just to give you an idea, it's not just Republican governors that are doing this. There are some Democratic governors that are talking about this and canceling unemployment benefits. However, they want to see how this plays out first. See how this works for these Republican states. If they come back stronger, if they get a lot of people applying for jobs, then yes, it does show that the unemployment benefits were a disservice and were a disincentive for people to actually go back to work. So we'll see what happens there. But as I know more, I promise I will share more. And on top of all that, top of all the unemployment issues we're having, Democrats are having more and more problems because the information that we're starting to see is actually showing that Democrats were wrong, or are wrong at this time. So some say that we still have supply chain issues. Well, we know this. This is part of what some of this infrastructure package would do. We also know that the supply chain issues would be impacted by that China bill that the Senate passed last week. We know that the China competitiveness bill. We know all these things. We know manufacturing is still very slow, but the problem there is you cannot increase manufacturing if you don't bring back your employees. Well, you can't bring back your employees if they're making a lot more money on unemployment. And this is something that, I have tried to stay right in the middle of. But reports right now are indicating that, yes, there is a higher chance that people are staying home because they're getting paid more to stay at home than to come back to work. There's a higher chance of that than there's just not enough jobs, right? We're getting reports that there's so many jobs out there. It's just not enough people are applying for those jobs. So we also know prices are going to continue to increase on just about everything that we buy. Food, more expensive. Clothing, a little bit more expensive, right? I was trying to go buy a couch the other day. It was about $150 more than what it was about a month ago, okay, for a couch. And it's just because of, the materials, shipping. Shipping is getting expensive, right? We know cars, used and new cars, are getting more expensive. So we also know in all these things, with unemployment being canceled for up to 25 states very soon, we know prices increasing ridiculous amounts, right? And with low-income earners being the ones that will be disproportionately affected, many lawmakers are saying that we need to provide for those that are going to be hardest hit. Right now we know, and I think the United States did an okay job at providing additional relief. They were slow. We were very slow. But I think they did an okay job at providing some additional relief. The problem is that they waited for the problem to happen, right? We went through the pandemic. Okay, let's get an additional $1,200 out to the American people. Awesome. That happened fairly quickly, and that was really good. The problem then was they waited and waited and waited, and $600 came, was it 6 months later? And then it was, okay, let's do another $1,400. Let's get up to $2,000 that President Biden promised. All right, perfect. And that came out. But now the problem is there are still many people that are suffering. So instead of, according to experts, instead of paying for the suffering that we've already been through, why doesn't Congress come out and pay for the suffering that the American people and the assistance that the American people are going to need to move forward? That's what experts are saying. So this brings me to the next thing, right? Will we see the lower income earners, will we see them get additional assistance? Will we see low income earners truly get relief? Will this include people on SSI and SSDI? Will it include veterans as well? And will this include Americans with student loan debt? This is what we're hearing. Right now we know there's an even stronger push than ever before for additional aid. Chuck Schumer, he keeps on pushing for student loan forgiveness. Bernie Sanders keeps on pushing for an expansion of Medicare. We know Pramila Jayapal, Ilhan Omar, they keep pushing for stimulus checks of $2,000 per month. The talks of additional stimulus are not over. The talks of this infrastructure package passing are not over. They're just beginning. The talks of seeing relief to the American people, getting out of this pandemic, getting our jobs back, this isn't over. There is still a lot being discussed. And here's something else that I want to bring up to you, because this is actually very important as well. There's a crisis at the border that's getting out of hand. You probably have seen this, you probably know this, but we are starting to get more and more reports on this. Tens of thousands of people are heading to the Mexican border in hopes of getting across into the United States, right? They want to come here. This is the land of the free. This is where everybody has opportunities. Well, although President Biden has stated that now is not the time to come, many people do not care. Many people are not going by that. What many people are coming here for? Many people are coming due to the simple fact that they are not being turned away. Children are just being let in. And they're being taken care of on the American taxpayer's dollar. So, what we know right now, according to experts, health experts are now saying that they worry that this influx of people, all these new people coming from other countries who are not properly taking care of this COVID, this pandemic, right? Some are saying right now that letting new people come in is actually going to slow down the progress that the United States has made in containing COVID. So, some are saying, again, these are just a few ideas being thrown out there. Some are saying that anybody that comes into the United States should be mandatory they get the vaccine, whether they want it or not. You want to come in, you have to get the vaccine. That is what at least some are saying should be an option or a plan that gets thrown out of there. Because right now they say there should not be a reason why, if the United States, and this is going to disproportionately affect people in the South, and this is Texas, where people come across, from Mexico, or, obviously coming up from other countries as well. But it should not be where that state is going to be hurt or negatively impacted because of COVID, because the U.S. government is letting people in. That shouldn't be the case. And this is also one of the reasons why Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he's saying that they're just going to start arresting people. They will just start arresting people that are illegal, putting them in jail, because there's no reason why they should be impacting and affecting the American people. They should not be taking jobs away from the American people that are just now getting back to work. This shouldn't be happening. So we will see what happens, but what I can tell you right now is there's a lot of talks on what should we see, what will we see, and will the Biden administration step up and do something about this border crisis, about stimulus checks, about additional stimulus to the American people, getting an infrastructure package deal done, and getting it done in a decent amount of time. Right now, many lawmakers, mostly Democrats, are worried that this is just another delay tactic, and we might not see an additional bill passed regarding infrastructure or otherwise. We might not even see this passed before September. So we'll see what happens, but as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the new information and updates with you guys. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. If you have any questions whatsoever regarding stimulus, infrastructure, the issue at the border, price increases, unemployment, rental assistance, mortgage assistance, anything and everything, let me know what your questions are down in the comment section below. I do read them. Okay, we are still getting everybody on YouTube, not just my channel, but everybody on YouTube that deals with finances are getting the exact same thing. They're getting scammers coming in. They'll use my face, use my name, but they just send you a message and say, hey, great comment or whatever. Send me a message on WhatsApp and I can help you there. I'm not going to send you a message on WhatsApp. Nobody on YouTube will send you, bigger YouTuber is going to send you a message on WhatsApp to try to get you to or help you out with your questions and problems. We're not going to ask for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So just keep that in mind. These are scammers. Don't fall for that and do not lose your money. But again, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing and I'll see you guys on the next one.